OpenClaw, which is the fastest growing open source project in the history of all open source projects, is a personal AI assistant that I have covered multiple times in the last few videos. But the solution that I'm about to show you is an interesting one, primarily because I feel like it's a jump from something like an AWS EC2, which is like a managed thing, to an AWS Lambda, which is like a serverless thing, right? And obviously there are differences and there are nuances that you have to take care of, but serverless is generally less headache compared to managed instance like EC2, right? What I'm about to show you is sort of a serverless way of thinking about OpenClaw. Instead of you deploying everything and you figuring out the updates, patches, all of that, you can use KiloClaw, which is released by my friends over KiloCode, who are also the makers of KiloCode extension that allows you to add AI superpowers in any IDE or system that you are working with. But KiloClaw specifically, this service, is your own OpenClaw, but hosted by Kilo, so you don't have to do any of the VPS setup. Plus, the thing I like about this is that you have about 500 models that you can access via their gateway, which means if you want more intelligent models or if you want to change to a new model which has happened, you don't have to manually SSH update the keys. You can just use their gateway and their UI to figure that out. Plus, it's a single click deploy, so you can run OpenClaw under 60 seconds, which I want to show you as well in this specific video. You can start using KiloClaw and follow along with me using my link in the description below, and you will get a 7-day free compute as well, which you can use to run KiloClaw basically for free. So once again, thanks to KiloClaw for sponsoring this video, and let's now see if this 60-second setup is actually true or not. All right, so I'm going to start with KiloClaw here. I'm going to continue with Google, or I'm just with the same account. And once I log in, I will be taken into this claw area where I can select a model of my choice. Now, Minimax M2.5 generally is my choice of model, so I'm going to go with this. It's also free right now, as of now. And I prefer Telegram, as I've also mentioned multiple times. Now, Telegram's setup is the simplest, it's the most convenient, and Telegram supports bots as a first-class citizen, so that's great. So I'm going to go to BotFather again to create a bot, and I'm going to say new bot over here. And I'm going to call this as KiloBot for now. And I'm going to give it KiloBot as the name. Let's say KiloBot Mehul or Kilo Mehul bot. And there we go. We have the API token, which I'm going to go ahead and paste over here. I'm going to click on create and provision. And once I do that, it is likely provisioning an instance for me. So it's doing all the background work, and you will have your instance control over here as well, including some of the controls that I can see that allows you to restart, OpenClaw setup, or even update it. There is some configuration that I can see over here, 2 vCPU, 3 GB RAM, which should be more than enough for a single instance of KiloClaw, right? And 10 GB SSD, which could be a little less depending on what your use cases are. If you're sending it a lot of media files or images or videos, your AI might exhaust this, but I'm sure like there is a way to update this or manage this. I mean, you can technically even ask your bot to delete files, right, if needed, because the bot itself has access to the full container or the full host system. In the settings itself, you can see that we have a bunch of options over here in terms of choosing the default models, channels, Telegram. You can also use Discord, but I just generally prefer Telegram. It's more than enough. And Slack. So Kilo right now does not support WhatsApp or, a bunch of more options that actually OpenClaw provides. But I think that's fair because most of the people I know have been using OpenClaw on Telegram and some of them on Discord and Slack if you want it, like sort of like a deeper integration with your workspace. But for the most part, Telegram is fine. So now you can see in a couple of minutes, it has provisioned this instance for me. And there are a bunch of interesting options over here. So I have this open option. I also have something known as access code. So let's figure it out. I have this one-time access code, which expires in 10 minutes. I don't know what this access code is, so we'll figure it out. But if I open it, okay, so every access gateway needs this code. So it's sort of like an authentication to my instance of CloudBot, right? And this is the web UI for managing your OpenClaw. So you can see like your gateway dashboard itself is also deployed online. There is nothing that you have to do. Everything you can manage from this dashboard itself. Let's see first of all if the agent itself is configured, right? Because I've technically not done anything on the Telegram level or any of those levels. So if I go back to my Telegram and if I start this, you will see that we get a typical message of OpenClaw access not configured. And then we have to approve with the pairing. So you see over here, I have this command over here. If I copy this and if I go back to this dashboard, you will see that one option obviously I have is I can go into channels or inside settings and I can figure out what I can do. But we also have this chat option with the direct gateway session chat for quick interventions, right? So this is sort of your way of talking to the bot as a first time thing when you have not configured any channel. So you can still say it. Can you approve this Telegram authorization by running this command? And remember that this is also OpenClaw, right? The session that you're talking with, if I give this message, this is actually running in OpenClaw's gateway itself, right? So it has access to that. You can see it asks me for exec approval needed. I would allow it once, and I'll also allow the pairing part. And let's say, and there you go. Once I approved the access, it has approved the permission. Now, if I go back to Telegram and send it a message, you can see that my bot is now typing, and this is using Minimax M2.5 API, which is again provided by Kilo. And we have a similar UI interface that we have seen in our past video as well, which required, by the way, a lot of setup time, right? So I think most of the video, in fact, was spent into setting up the system first. But in this case, within a few minutes, we are done and ready. So I can say to it, hey, my name is Mehul, and I want you to name yourself on your own. Let's say I say something like this. So again, the bot is up and running, so it can start taking up any questions. It has named itself Nova. And of course, it maintains all the conversations history, all of that, right? So it's just like your typical setup, but with a nice UI, without a server that you have to manage, and with these controls that you can use over here to just update and check for different things which are available. Let's talk a little bit about this dashboard. So this dashboard that you're seeing is actually provided within OpenClaw itself. So there are two parts to this component, right? First is a Kilo interface, which is what you're seeing over here in gateway process settings, all of that. And the second is the actual dashboard, which is provided by OpenClaw itself. Now you can see that there is obviously a security note here that the control UI is an admin surface. You should not expose it publicly. The UI stores the token in local storage after first load, and you should prefer localhost, tailscale, or an SSH tunnel. So obviously, if you're doing it by yourself, you have to be a little bit more careful. But if you're using a managed provider like Kilo, you can rely on the fact that the implementation would be secure, just like we have seen with the access code, which expires like once every 10 minutes. So even if you share every other piece of component, people won't be able to get inside your instance, even though it's public, because the access code will not work. I just saw that Kilo also provides this UI of pairing request, right? So what we did earlier by actually asking the AI directly to approve the pairing part, you could have done it from the dashboard here itself. But again, like sort of this is like a one-time thing that you have to do. So you can ask the OpenClaw dashboard directly, or you can do it from here as well. I want to do something interesting inside this. So I'm going to go back to my Telegram and I'm going to ask it, hey, can you set up or at least research about how I can SSH inside you to get access. I'll say it, you might be running inside a Docker container or something. I just need to SSH into you. Can you create a reverse tunnel or something? I don't know, right? Just out of curiosity, I just want to see like if this is possible or not. And I actually should have given it like an intelligent model, maybe like Opus 4.6 or something. But it's fine. I think Minimax can also do this task if it is doable in the first place. So it's running into some permissions where it wants me to, approve exec requests. So I can just ask it, can you look into your config and see how we can bypass these requests? And you can see we are running into some problems reading the configuration because it does not has full permissions on file system. And because, we would want to modify a little bit of file system here and there, I will go here approval inside the dashboard. So the dashboard itself also lists all the conversations, right? If you don't know about it, you can access any conversation from here itself. Or I just figured out that you can just edit the config also directly here, right? So you can go inside this config and you can change this to security full, update this, and this will still work. Let's see if I give it try now to my Telegram bot and it is doing something, right? It's asking me for my IP SSH port, a username on my machine. So I don't want to do that. I don't want it to reverse SSH to my machine. I want it to just create SSHD. So I'll ask it to go with that approach. If not, we can also use Cloudflare tunnels. So to save you some time, I tried the reverse SSH approach a bit, but it doesn't seem to work because it seems like the traffic is getting blocked at some point, even if the SSH works, most likely because of some security feature that does not just allow arbitrary people to connect to your Docker container, which is fine because in most cases, you will not be doing an SSH in a managed instance, right? Which is the whole point of having a provider like Kilo so that you don't have to do the technical work. But nonetheless, this is yet another way of doing OpenClaw without touching any servers. Perfect for your non-technical friends who want to get started with OpenClaw but don't have a server to buy or expertise to set it up. And they're also running some discount, including the ability to have completely free access of 7 days to get started with. So do check them out. No strings attached. It's free to start with and use. All the links are in the description. That's all for this video. And if you liked it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video very soon. If you're still watching, make sure you leave a comment, I watched till the end below, to tell me that you were still here and let me know what do you think about the video.